Good morning, girl. It's Sunday morning. Time to take a break. Time to get away before you start the day. Get informed, have a laugh, shed a tear. This time is for you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, girl.
Good morning, girl. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Courtney Hicks. Are you ready for a little we time? Hope your week was good, or at least decent. And if not, that's what this time together is all about, to uplift and encourage and inspire. My mom used to say, good to Midland. I think that's it. So listen, hopefully today's conversation will take you to a better place than you've been. There is a lot going on in our world, in our community, in our culture. And today I just want to give us a breather and dip into, or tap into, shall I say, into some good. I have an amazing guest today, a guest girlfriend. We go way back to 2008 when I moved from Chicago to Mobile. Radio was changing and I needed to stick another feather in my hat so I can maintain how valuable I was to the industry, right? So I went into management in Mobile, Alabama, a station called the Big Station. BLX gave me that opportunity. And I am from Detroit, and we do hair and we do shoes. And so I had to find somebody to do my hair. So by nature, she is a hairstylist, but now she has moved into this very authentic way of living. She has a farm, I do believe, in Centradale, Alabama. She's going to tell us all about it. You've probably seen her go viral many a times with her babies, her goats and her chickens, and all of these stray animals that keep finding their way to her farm. I am so excited to talk to her today in hopes that our conversation will inspire you to either begin to live authentically or even more authentically than you already are. Are you ready to get to the good? Let's go. Yes, let's get to the good, some good conversation, some good girlfriend conversation this morning. Want to bring in April Brown. And it's not a hashtag. What is it? An at your handle at Slaughterhouse Hair. Lots of folks might already be familiar with you, maybe as a hairstylist, or now as, I want to say, a farmer girl with all of your fur babies.
Yes,
Welcome
definitely.
in. It is so good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It is such a pleasure to be here talking to you, Courtney.
Absolutely. I know you way out in the sticks, so I had to bring you a little closer to the city to come and talk to me. So you gotta hug and kiss all the animals for us that you have on the salon farm. What a journey it has been. So we met back in '08. I had moved from Chicago to Mobile. I was making some career transitions, had to stick another feather in my hat, get into some management. Radio was going through so many changes, syndication, and it brought me to Mobile, Alabama. However, I'm originally from Detroit, and you know we are crazy about hair and shoes, and so I needed to immediately find somebody to do my hair, and April was that girl. And I sat in her chair a few times, got to meet the first baby, the oldest baby, your human baby, who is now a
Ye-
grown woman.
Yes, she is.
And I just have watched you go from Alabama to Atlanta, then I think back to Alabama, and then Atlanta again.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, I just witnessed this incredible pivot into more of who you not really were, but have always been. So before we even get to that, talk a little bit about you being a human mama first. And you got an oldest one who is like I said, is grown. I remember her when she was in single digits. And then there's the younger one, and how that this whole idea of being a fur mommy started with being a real human mommy.
Well, yes, ma'am. I am first a mother of two beautiful kids. My daughter, she is 23 years old. I love her dearly, and her name is Kaylee. And then I have my son that is 13, and his name is Landon. So being their mother has been extremely amazing. Like I wouldn't change nothing about being their mama. Um, and they have a lot of siblings now, but they just come with four legs instead of two. So
A lot of
a
siblings.
lot of siblings.
So it started with hair for you, and I know I'm familiar with your story. You had Kaylee fairly young, and so you were sort of kind of faced with this. I got to take care of not only me, but I've got a mouth to feed now. So I know that hair was like the family business. So was that for you like your true calling? Is that what you knew that you wanted to go into, or was that an industry that you knew you could get into and do fairly well? How did that come about for you?
Well, I never ever wanted to do hair. That was never my dream, never the goal. I had my daughter at 17, and shortly after that, I graduated high school. I had her in the 11th grade. I graduated high school, and then I could have went off to college. I wanted to be a veterinarian, so that's where that passion for animals come from.
Okay.
Um, I wanted to go to vet school. I could have went to vet school. I have the most amazing parents. They would have kept my daughter. I chose to stay home because I would have had to be away for 8 years, and
Yeah.
that just wasn't in my vision to go off to school and leave my daughter with my parents. So I chose the next best thing, which I was good at, but I didn't know that hair was going to take off the way it did for me. So I went to
And
cosmetology school, and it just blew up after that. Like, just
and it did, especially when you
went
went
crazy.
to it started in Mobile because I saw the
Yes, it
craftsmanship
did.
coming on because it started with these bobs and these wonderful layered cuts. And then I feel like when you got to Atlanta, that big major city with
Ooh,
all of that competition, you were really able to stand out with that mullet cut. Everybody loved it. They were copying you. I know
yes,
even some
Lord.
folks, the folks who sell the wigs and the hair, they were taking your pictures and making it seem as though they were there. I remember. And so you just really put your stamp on that world. And so surprised but not surprised when as your timeline kept moving along and maturing and evolving, you began to sort of kind of move away from
I
hair,
did.
not entirely, but then all of a sudden you become this farmer girl. And I really want to start because I've been paying attention to your life, girl. We've been knowing each other for a while now. I've sat in your chair a few times. We've had some wonderful conversations. I really feel like it started when you met your husband. I just feel like
Yes.
it was this divine appointment, and that union really some kind of way gave you even more permission or the release you needed to move into where you are now as this farmer girl. It's a crazy story with how you met this husband. Tell it,
Oh,
tell it, tell
it
it.
is. So, well, we met on TikTok. He inboxed me and he said, "I hope you're having a good Friday." And I said, "Oh God, here we go again."
That
Because I actually
DM,
had
baby.
just
That
got out
DM
of
is hot.
yeah, I had just got out of a previous situation, and I was slightly a little off of starting
Yeah.
anything new, but 46 days of me knowing him, I said I do. And we are at year 4. This is year 4 for us. I know. This is year 4. So it came easy for him to transition into this life because he's from North Carolina and he lived on a farm growing up. So this was never like a
It
surprise
wasn't
to him.
a stretch.
Um, nah, it came easy. So the transition for us, that part is not hard. Having a farm, having the animals, coming back to the South, that's something that we actually both wanted. So it made it very easy for me to blossom and bloom into the season because I do have a mate that understands what I want. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
made it easy for
And
me.
and allows you to just be totally you just totally you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Unrestrained. I mean, you out in the on the farm in a moo chasing goats and raising pigs, and then these stray animals keep finding the salon farm
They
to
keep
come
coming.
and live. I know, and with that. I just feel like when we watch you and you post a lot of content, you know, with your animals, with your husband's kind of like he's there, but in the background. Every now and again, we see the kids, and the kids be looking at you like you're crazy. But with these animals, it's like you have this, you know, it reminds me of watching those folks who used to go in the jungle with the gorillas and the tigers, and they used to have this amazing connection, and the gorillas would want to hug all up on them. And I just feel like when you're holding your fur babies in your arms, there's this amazing connection, and we're just watching you guys have this dialogue that is just so sweet and so precious. I know when you took in one of your stray dogs, the hound, and you were like,
Who,
how did you get? I
Betty?
think it's Betty. How did you get here? And Betty just looked at you like, I don't know, but I'm just here. It was just so touching. And I believe that's why people connect. It doesn't have to be perfect or polished. It just has to be real. And I believe that's why your content goes so viral.
Yeah.
You know, from, you know, pretty much every time you post, because people, whether you're into animals or not, they just love this connection, and it is so you. What is magical, April? It really is.
Well, I do tell people when they do content, make sure you're giving your authentic, transparent self,
Hmm.
because that is what will connect your audience and grow your audience. And I think it's new for people to see someone young, like myself, with
Black.
as a black young lady,
Yes.
being a farmer here in Alabama.
Hmm.
And I love to be able to showcase that for people to say, hey, it's possible. This wasn't a dream that I didn't make come true. So
Hmm.
it's possible.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really possible.
Absolutely. And with that, I think we kind of talk on the outer bands of possibility, and we talk on the outer bands of living this authentic life. But the intention of this conversation inside of Good Morning Girl this morning is to like put some legs, you know, to the desire, and really lean into the authenticity. So, like, at what point did you feel like you either gave or you had the permission to really lean into, you know what, I'm a successful stylist, and you even have an amazing knack for interior design. Don't think I haven't peeped that as well. Your houses have always been on point, honey, and that salon. But at what point do you feel like and you have this husband now who gets it, who comes from it, who is in alignment with your passion and your desire and your vision? So at what point did you give yourself permission and then start putting legs to it? I know you had to find your 8 acres and pack up and say, this is the decision we're going to make to go here. I think sometimes we get stuck in it, going from a desire to putting some action behind it, so
All
it
right.
can really begin to take bloom, if you will.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I can say this with the most humblest answer. Anytime I have wanted something, I have always got it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like God gave me the release to once I came back home, and because that was not embarrassing to me,
Yeah.
but this my third time coming back
Mm-hmm.
home. I don't think people understand my third time coming back. And at that moment, I was like, I just have to stop trying to cross all my T's and dot all my I's and just live.
Live.
Um, and when I did that, it seemed like everything started pouring into my cup to where a there wasn't a hole anymore at the bottom of that cup. It just started pouring, and it got full, it got full, it got full, it got full, and now it's just overflowing to where I need multiple cups. Um, but I decided to let go once I said, once I get back home, it's time to just be April. Um, and I'm gonna have to show people who April really is. And you just get to an age to where you say, I don't care anymore. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you like it. Long as it makes me happy, long as I'm 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 producing, I'm okay with that. And if I'm
Yeah.
the only person that sees fit for me, I'm okay with that as well. So
Yeah. I love that. So what I'm hearing is, openness. What I'm hearing from you is like flexibility. And what I'm hearing from you is once you gave yourself the permission and postured yourself in that way, that's when, the planning starts and all of that comes together and
yes,
begin to really, crystallize. And you look up, you and your man on your four-wheeler, zooming through all those 8 acres of land. You've got all these wonderful, amazing chickens and goats. And we see you posting stories with sick chickens in your kitchen and giving them shots
every
so
time.
they'll feel better. Stray dogs coming to the farm. We've seen little Miss Charlotte, the baby pig, and you having to nurse her and checking on her while she's laying up in the bed. It has really just been I'm watching, girl, and so is everybody else. I mean, thousands and thousands, sometimes millions of folks really just watching your day-to-day life. And now it's to the point where you're opening up the salon farm for other people to come in.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about is it goat yoga? What is going on? You open up the farm for yoga sessions? I love it.
Yes. So, we actually just had our second annual goat yoga. So there is so much that we are going to do, but the first thing that I want to be able to do is be able to open the community to something new. Give them things to do while educate and also making them feel a peace that's hard to find on a daily basis. When I bring and I invite people to my home or to my space, I want them to understand there is more to life than just working. There is more to life than just that's just paying bills. There is a sense of peace. Um, and that's what we're building at the Salon Forum for kids, for adults, um, for everybody, the whole community. So we do have goat yoga. We're also having a summer program that we're doing this summer with the kids. We have things like plant bingo. We have the form swap. Eventually, we will have the actual salon on the property. So you will be able to get your hair done and experience the forming at the same time.
I love
Um,
that.
yes, ma'am. So there is so much that we are doing.
Wow.
We are going to start our garden so that I will be able to first be able to feed my family, my friends, and then the community. I started this property so that I can help my circle, which is my family, and then my friends, and then the community. So there is so much that Salon Farm is going to do. We haven't even did anything, probably 10%. I have so much more to do to make a
I
change in
believe
this.
it. I believe
Ooh,
it.
I have
And
so
and
much.
and you are so in alignment. I just feel like you are so on point with your mission, your ministry, your gifts and your talents. You've partnered with somebody who, you know, can and will support that and just allows you the space just to be you because you are silly and goofy and funny, girl. You tickle me, and you touch a lot of people. And that's really what I want the takeaway from this conversation to be, because I feel like you are living in real time, in your
Yes,
purpose in real time. And it's not so much talk anymore. And I think as women, that's where we sort of kind of get caught in between, what we want, what we desire, what we dream about, then actually giving ourselves permission to do that. And then, putting some plans in place so
yeah,
those things can start to, materialize. And that's really where I am right now, stepping away from, my traditional career path, being my own, boss, being
I love that for
responsible
you.
for being responsible for my own professional freedom. It is scary, but let me tell you something. I feel amazing. And at 55, honey, when
It's
you were
worth
saying
it.
earlier that at some point, can't nobody tell you nothing and you really don't care. You just turned 40. So now
Ooh.
you're in a whole new age bracket. Do you feel any different as all of these desires come together, and as you continue to operate in such purpose? Now you put the big 40 on top of that.
Ooh, yes.
Do you feel any different? Did
Um,
does it
I
feel the
feel
same, or what you think?
I feel more confident. 40, I think that 40 bracket is just you do not care in a good way. It's
Welcome to
just
it.
I have less summers to live than so meaning with that being said, I'm going to enjoy each year that I
Yes.
have left on this earth.
Yeah.
Um, but the older you get, as I'm getting older, I do know I have purpose, with God. God is showing me exactly. I can give you the desires of your heart. If number one, you follow me. If number one, you listen. And if number one, you can be a vessel to show people who I am. And that's what 40 hit me with. So even though I'm living my truth, I still have to live in purpose. And
I love
that
that.
transition it
I
can be
love
hard
it.
sometimes because I have to
I
give up
know.
self to get
Yeah.
more of him
Yeah.
to reflect exactly who I'm supposed
And
to be. So,
you really have to really allow yourself sometimes, if not most times, to take a back seat and again stay very flexible and malleable and pliable for him to shift you and move you in ways
yes.
that are going to do better for you. I mean, I know we want to control it and think we know what we think we know, but if you believe and trust as you should,
Ooh, it's
he
hard.
knows and believes bigger, better, stronger, faster, harder. And so you might as well
Yes,
just like lay
ma'am.
back, show up as you're supposed to, but lay back a little bit and let him take care of it all. I have this thing where in your 20s, you're finding yourself. In your 30s, you're grinding a little bit. In your 40s, you're kind of stacking that knowledge and that experience. And in your 50s, you're kind of laying back. So you grind, you stack, and you lay back. And then when you get to like 60 plus, you are
Ooh,
everything that you ever imagined you could possibly be. And can't nobody really tell you anything. You're probably about 60
okay.
plus.
Uh-uh.
So I'm about 5 years from that. But
Ooh, you still a
I
baby.
just, I know, I feel like in the scheme of things, I really am. But April, I just like appreciate you so very much. And
I
I've
appreciate
watched your
you.
journey and it has been amazing. And let me tell you, I always think about you. I lost my grandmother about 3 years ago, tragically, in a house fire, and I had called you up, talked to your assistant, and I wanted you to make me a wig, honey. And I was getting ready to either fly to Atlanta and have you do the install and everything. And that tragic call came in, and I sort of kind of disappeared. And the first person I thought about was you. I was like, oh, April made me this unit and I didn't pay this girl and she hasn't heard from me. And I was a little hesitant to reach out to you because I know
Girl,
you're not
no.
that kind of person. But when you leave people hanging, that's just not my style. But that tragedy really threw me off for a while. But you have just been the kindest, sweetest person. And I'm gonna send you that $900.
Girl, you is fine. You
But you
is
were so sweet because I
fine.
reached out to you and you were like, don't worry about it. I can sell that thing. And that just brought so much comfort and it just confirmed your heart to me. And I just wanted to bring that up and just appreciate
Oh,
you
thank
and
you,
love
Mama.
on you for that and just let the girlfriends who are watching in know that those are the real moments where you don't even know when you're showing up as that good girlfriend how amazing that could be, for that person and what they walk away and how they walk away experiencing you. I hope for you nothing but the continued best. I know your handle
You.
is at Slaughterhouse at April. Give it to me. And I don't want to confuse the folks. What is
So
it?
my Facebook is April Slaughterhouse Brown, and my Instagram is Slaughterhouse Hair. But all of that will soon transition
It's
to
going to have
maybe
to.
only be just the salon form. So I
Yeah.
have two different worlds, and I'm trying to merge them together.
Same
And that
here.
takes time. That takes time because I'm a
Yeah.
very impatient girl. I'm not a person that trusts the process. I want the process to happen in like 2.9
Immediately. I
seconds.
know. I have to fight that a lot, but that'll help to bring it all together under one umbrella because I have a lot of different lanes and facets too,
Yes.
and I'm trying to bring this all together so I get it. And so yeah, I can understand why you have a lot of different avenues to get to you, but I'm looking forward to
Yes.
you to that all coming together as I'm doing. We have to really talk because as I'm bringing things in focus and in view for me as well, and bringing that down to one real meaningful lane. But tell that husband hello.
I
You
sure
even
will.
you even went viral in your wedding moment with the wedding dress and how you finagled that thing and looked so cute. I mean, just
Ooh, baby, I
you
had the
you
whole world on
you
fire.
did you did you did you just really you're on point, and I just want to acknowledge that and thank you so much for joining us today inside of a little we time. That's what Good
It
Morning
was so
Girl.
much fun.
I know it really, really is. I'll have to have you back, especially when you get, the farm situated the way you want. Better yet, I'll have to
Yes.
do an on
It's
location Good
going to
Morning
be
Girl and come
amazing.
back
You're
to
going
them
to have to do a
sticks.
staycation because that's
Yes,
that's going to be a part
and
of the elevation, a
and it'll
staycation.
be it'll be different for me because I like dogs, but goats and chickens and stuff. So you'll have to really help me
So
out,
they're very
April.
domesticated, Courtney. So they're very domesticated. So they're not wild. They're very tame, calm, and sweet. So don't be
Okay.
scared. You can come
No, it's
fearful,
not
but
scared. It's just like ooh.
you're gonna leave fearless when you come. So you'll be safe.
Indeed. Indeed. Tell the husband, them kids, the family, hello, stay safe. We love you, and we will
I love
continue
you
to
too.
watch and follow and support. And thank you so much for joining us today inside of Good Morning Girl. I love you, honey.
I love you too.
I want to thank April Brown for joining us today inside of Good Morning Girl. Always good to talk to somebody who is really walking the walk and talking the talk. And hopefully, our conversation has inspired you to do just that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Good Morning Girl here on the YouTube channel. Girl is spelled Gyrl. I'm also on Spotify. And then, of course, we can always stay in touch in between episodes on Facebook and Instagram at Good Morning Girl. And I'm working on like this Patreon thing, but right now I just want to lay in the cut and just put together a really good conversation for you each and every first Sunday. For now, I'm trying to pace myself. Big ups to all these podcasters who do this thing every day or every week. But I have found an amazing team, and maybe I'll just up the ante a little bit. But for now, we'll see you on the next first Sunday right here on Good Morning Girl.
Good morning.